Welcome back to Bill's Bets and Beers. I'm the host, Chad, and this is going to be the video where I'm talking about the Bills vs. Jets post-game reaction. As you can tell by my voice, I was at that game, and this usually happens the next day or so after the game. Definitely don't have my full voice yet. If you're new to the channel, this is a channel where I talk mostly about Bills football, NFL in general, walk through some parlays and same game parlays I do. I usually try to do Monday, Thursday, and Sunday night football, as well as just a couple spread across the Sunday football games as well. Then occasionally I'll do a tasting and rating of a tasty brew. I try to pick some local IPAs from the area. But let's get into this video. If you do like the content, definitely give me a like and subscribe. Helps to see that people are enjoying it. But yeah, let's get into the positives from this game. The Jets front seven had a huge game without Von Miller in there. It's good to see that they're thriving without one of the best pass rushers they had. Greg Rousseau went off, had 2 sacks. Shaq Lawson had one, and I forgot the other person who had one. Maybe it was Milano, I believe. They all had sacks. Very good, and they also had 3 huge QB hits that weren't, not all of them were sacks, but on Mike White, he just got pummeled this game. But yeah, it was 4 sacks in a day, so that was great to see. Felt bad for Mike White after the second and third hit because, I mean, he was just getting beat down. But he was staying in the pocket, doing what he was trying to do to win this game, and kept coming back in. So you got to give him mad props for that. Knox definitely showed out this game. He helped that Bills offense when Diggs and Davis were really getting, not blanketed, but just the defense quieted them down so much that even though Knox only had 40-something yards, it was still very good for us because he had a touchdown and gave us some points to get ahead, and actually, so the defense can hold the Jets out for us to get the win. Definitely a good thing to see because Knox has been very quiet this year, really, after getting his big payday. He's had a game or so here where he's gotten 7 for 7 and some good yards, but it's been very quiet from him. It's good to see him get some quality catches and nice Superman dive into the touchdown to the end zone. Yeah, but it's just good. The best moment side note for that is just good to see him not be completely invisible on the field. He needs to be used just like McKenzie does, but he had some drops, so happens. Josh Allen, he definitely put heavy work in on the ground. You don't usually like to see your number 1 quarterback doing a lot of the rushing or getting most rushing yards, but that's, as a Bills fan, that you're used to that by now. Definitely had a little bit of a scare with that hurdle. I mean, I'm pretty sure all the Bills fans' hearts stopped seeing that. I know at the game it was like, holy crap, he got back up right away, but it was like, ooh, thank God. They have damn 360 in the air. But, yeah, it's huge. He had like 40-something rushing yards, rushing touchdown. I mean, he pulled that third and 15 out on a run. That was massive for us. So when he was running, it was all necessary for us to win that game. So not like he was just putting his body in the line for no reason. So it's good to see that he can do that. It's a positive in that aspect, but definitely something you don't want to see all the time, especially a big 360 hit when he's in the air. Last on these positives, I have the Bills' run D is still strong. I mean, we stopped them to 72 rushing yards on the day, which is a good positive sign. I mean, Knight is actually pretty good as a running back, even though, I mean, obviously, he's beaten out. He's beaten out the other running back So it's good to see that we're still able to stop a Jets team who generally plays the run pretty well down to only having 72 yards. So we've been doing good past 3, 4, or 5 weeks with stopping the run. So it's definitely good to see coming into these harsher weather, like lower scoring games, to stop them from getting all these rushing yards. Because if a team can run on you at that point, that means they could take the clock time, which Jets did have more clock time, but that's because we weren't stopping some third and longs. But that'll be in the negative parts of the game. But yeah, which we'll get into right now. Okay, the Bills' offense. It was very lackluster in a sense. It wasn't. No, I don't know. They won the game. They got 2 touchdowns. Just wasn't what you wanted from them against. Yes, this is a very good defense, but what we were putting out in the field out there, even with the weather, it just wasn't what you're looking for. Um, we only had 102 yards rushing, which is great, but Allen had about 40 years, so almost 50 of it. Then you had 147 yards passing. That's not great for Allen. Allen should be getting over 200 every single game. I mean, even in bad weather games, you saw him last year against the Patriots when it was 1 degrees outside, breeze, some snow. It's like we were doing fine. So I know there's some drops that had made this happen this way, but just not good to see. I mean, Mike White had more passing yards than we had like offensive yards in general. Mike White had, I think it was the 268 passing yards, and we literally had 250 something total, like offensive yards. So it's bad to see. Like I said, wide receivers are dropping balls. McKenzie did not have a great day. I don't think it's time to say don't play McKenzie because he's going to have a bad game here or there, but he's had very good games for us the past 2 or 3 anyways. He's been in there in key situations, getting those catches when Stefon Diggs has been blanketed and Davis is getting covered well. So that's what we need. I think it's a little early to really start really attacking on him on that. Shakir's great. I would love to see Shakir a little bit more, but McKenzie's still going to get the load of those slot carries. I think he deserves it at this point. I mean, he's done enough. But yeah, let's get into this next little tidbit. Ken Dorsey needs that play calling was not too stellar. Especially since we went 2 for 13 on third downs. That was part of the issue with his play calling. You're telling me you have all those attempts on third downs. Most average, I think they said, was around like a 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 8. So it's like we were having a lot of 3rd and longs, and it's like, what's going on with their first couple plays in this play calling? You know they're watching the pass. Pass isn't working that well. Josh Allen went for 58%, but it's like passing's not working that well. They're not letting anything really go on the outside when you're running. Let's run it up the middle. All Allen's big runs were generally up the middle. And not most of them probably weren't planned as much, but he had a lot of big runs like that. Where, like I said, at 3rd and 15, where he did that leap. I mean, just getting into the end zone like he did. He was going up through the middle area. So we had to get, if we would have had a couple good planned runs up the middle with like Cooks or Singletary, that's where we got most of our yards anyways. But if we just did that a little bit more, even though, like I said, we had, I think, more rushing plays than passing plays, again, by like 1 or 2. So it is pretty 50-50 ball. It's just we need to have better run plays to actually push us forward and get us more yards, set us up for more success in a sense. But we cannot see those 2 and 13 on third downs. We're not going to win against a good team with that. Especially against Miami coming up next week. This game's gonna be worse. It's gonna be more snow, less wet, so it's gonna be colder, more snow. So it's not gonna be as like rainy, wet, and slippery, but it's gonna be snow. So it's gonna be it's gonna be slippery, but it's not. I don't know. I'd rather have it just be snowing in 20 degrees than 38 and rain, sleet, whole mixture. Um, just rain and sleet is a lot more nastier than just snow coming down. Got a couple more negatives. Like I said, this game we won it. It's good to see a win. The win is a win. Just didn't win it very nice. The Bills defense still allowing more third and longs than we should in a game. That's been a habit ever since we got off this. I think it's after the bye week or even before that. We just have not been playing great with these third and longs coming up. The first Jets game, same thing. We would get them down into like a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, and somehow they would make a pass that's for like 16, 15 yards, and every single time they would, not every time, but they would get like 3 or 4 big 3rd and longs in a game. That is unacceptable. I mean, if you're going to be and these are like, we're having this happen against teams that don't have great offenses or aren't known for having the great offense and not known for having the greatest quarterback. I mean, Mike White was doing it. The other time, it was Wilson. I mean, we've had other quarterbacks that just, like Mac Jones, where like you don't expect them to have that, and they do. And it's just like, when the defense gets team into a 3rd and 15, and the pass rushers are going up front, and if they miss a tackle, or like for some reason they allow them to get open around that line, and they just get right past the line, and they get like the 4th and like against Minnesota, that 4th and 18 or whatever it was, that is just disgusting that he was able to catch that ball. The fact that he was even allowed to touch that thing. I know he's a good receiver, but you have to know he's their main target. He's who they've been going to lately. Just read what they're trying to do. You know they're going to stretch it out and push it that way. It just doesn't. If we don't fix this 3rd and long issue, I think it's going to haunt us in the future. Like near future. Because that's going to, when you do that against a good QB and a good offense, it's not going to dwell well for the team as a whole. That Bills O-line, it was not playing that great today. On Sunday. They allowed 3 sacks on Allen. Allen was running pretty much most of the game. That's why he had that's why a lot of those rushing yards were there, is because he was getting flushed out the pocket or having to get pushed up in the pocket and taking off. So, not a good sign. I think I was at the game watching it, so I didn't get to see everything, but I believe Spencer Brown went out of the game. Deion Dawkins had a couple holding calls on him, at least one on him. That was pretty bad. So it's like, with the holding calls and just him running for his life, and those holding calls are because he's running for his life, that it's like, just gotta play better. I think they have it in them. I'm hoping by the time playoff comes, Josh Allen, he will have the time in the pocket, but we have to do better on the run blocking and the pass pro. Run blocking's been better as of late because we have been having a better running attack, but still, just gotta do a little bit better, just to get ready for the postseason. Because postseason, it's a one and done type situation. There's no, we had a bad game this week, you can get him next week. We can't. Those situations aren't like that, and I think we know that as a team because we've gotten to the postseason enough. We just have to show that we are ready to be facing a top tier defense, which we faced 2 good defenses. They both had really good sack counts. So you can't. We got 3 sacks against the Jets. I think it was 2 or 3 with the Patriots. So it's like they're both really good defenses, at least front 7 wise. So you got to give it to them, but we just have to do just a little bit better. So we're keeping Josh a little bit healthier so he doesn't have to put his body in line so much. Then, last but not least, a reoccurring segment, which I hate. This Bills secondary is still getting burnt. Yes, granted, it was a bad weather game. We're gonna have that in Buffalo. That's what we say is our advantage. But you're still getting burnt in a game like that. I mean, you're facing Mike White. Like, he's not a stellar quarterback. He's a good average quarterback. Well, when he's playing well, he's playing good, but he's not playing no elite Pat Mahomes or like Burrows, which we're going to be facing in a couple weeks. So that's something you definitely have to worry about. And why is Dane Jackson still the CB2? Yes, he's the veteran over Elam. But Jesus, he can't keep getting burnt like this and playing all the time. When is Elam, what does Elam have to do to show that he's going to take that step to at least start the game out? And if Elam does shit, then switch it out after the first quarter. Or give him a couple drives to see what he's going to do. He gets burnt in those first couple drives, then throw Jackson back out there. Something. Because we're going to, with this Miami team coming up, we're going to have to probably play some man coverage. Because, I watch a couple, people like TD Finns talk and some other people, and, they've been saying, man coverage kills the Dolphins. And that's what we're going to have to play a little bit of if we're going to want to really slow them down. With the weather, I don't think they'd be throwing too much. But still, we have to do something to stop Tua from getting his first quick read. And that's going to be a man coverage, not like a zone situation. So, I don't trust Dane Jackson playing anyone man-to-man at the moment. Because when he's doing that, he's getting burnt. Or he's way too far back because he's already knowing that he has that in the back of his mind that I've been getting burnt so much that I'm going to just jump back, especially against someone like Tyreek Hill. He's probably going to be back 5 yards, then start jumping back further just because he's going to probably do a go route, he thinks. And then he's going to do a quick go and stop in a sense, where he's going to go up and then he's going to hook back in, and he's going to be 5-6 yards off the ball from Tyreek, just based off the fact of he's already back so far just because he's so quick. So just some things to worry about. I think Elam would be better in that situation if we're playing man, and I would love to see him as the starting CB2, at least next week. That's going to be really it. The good things about going to the game, you get to see the atmosphere and do all this stuff. But then you're going to the bathroom and doing all these things, and you don't have time to really I'm going to be back real quick. It's like a couple-minute thing going down to the bathroom back. So I missed a couple key plays and situations. But overall, we won the game. Our defense played very well. Allen did not have the greatest passing game today on Sunday, but he had made up for it on the ground. He did what he had to do to get the win for us. And even though they had the higher, they won the possession battle, we still beat them by 8 points. Our defense was strong when it needed to be. Made some big crucial hits and big crucial sacks. So it's good playing on that front seven. And that's what really saved this game. So, good to see. Got my upcoming videos. I'm going to be doing a Bills vs. Dolphins preview and prediction. I'll probably be dropping that tomorrow night or Wednesday morning. And then I got my Thursday Night Football preview and same game parlay. Then I'm going to be doing a Saturday triple header preview and same game parlays. I'll do one per game, and I might do one kind of mixed in games. Then I'm gonna be doing the Bills first. Then I'll do a Sunday Night Football and Sunday game parlays, and then the Bills versus the Dolphins post game reaction. I might do that at my Airbnb with my buddy, but I'm not gonna have all the stats and stuff like that. But might be something cool to get Mr. Nasty Time in there because he's going up to the game with me. So, depending on how I'm feeling. Because I know after the game this Sunday, I was definitely not feeling up to recording because that would not have been well. Hoping to drink a little bit less this time. No, a little bit more what happened at the time of the game after. Because everything's a big blur when you're at the game. It's great. Got my sponsors. My wife's Instagram account. Check her out. It's her business page. Crochet with Elisha. It's going to be crochet spelled out, then WITHELISHA. She does anything from hats, mittens, gloves, cardigans, cardigans, anything you could think of from baby, like infant baby, all the way up to full grown adult. Doesn't matter the size. You can be 6'3", 4'8". Doesn't matter weight or anything like that. Just all she would need is some measurements to know what kind of stitching, like how many stitches she's going to use per row, and then she can make it for you. She also does dolls. There's really cool dolls and stuffed animals and things like that for kids and adults. Like she's done a lot of nice things, like an Eeyore and all these things like that. And she does beer koozies, so go and check it out. Find anything you like, just shoot her a DM, and she'll just ask you the questions that she needs to know, and then she'll let you know the price. Also, my buddy Evan, he has his channel over at Mr. Nasty Time. It's MR_NASTYTYYYME. I'll put the link in my description. Check his channel out. He does weekly power rankings for the NFL, 1 through 32. Then he also does some UFC fight breakdowns for the fight cards when it's like a bigger card with more known fighters on it. And then he'll tell you what he's put in for his bets. And he's moved his gaming channel over to that as well from Twitch. So he's been doing a lot of Warzone 2.0 and just some Madden franchise stuff. So definitely check him out on there. Great watch, good comments, good content. I mean, the chat is pretty wild when we're sitting there playing. It gets pretty dramatic, or not. I would not say dramatic, but it gets pretty open with the conversation. So if you're looking for a good conversation, come watch the stream. But that's gonna be it. If you like what I'm doing, definitely give me some feedback in the comment section. If I'm wrong or anything you don't think I'm wrong in what I'm talking about or don't know what I'm talking about, definitely leave a comment. If you like what I'm talking about, leave a comment as well. If you enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe. But that's going to be it for me. Go Bills, and I'm out.